Welcome to Lost in Revision. All of our content is public domain, literature, fairy tales, and folklore. All of our music is by Nathan Hubble and is used with his permission. Thanks, and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome to Lost in Revision, brought to you by my HRT helping my brain come back online after perimenopause tried to steal it. So, I'm here as always with two of my favorite humans, Angel and Polly. How are you today, Angel?
Well, the students returned to the classroom this week, so I have been in professional development forever. So many meetings and new initiatives.
That could have been an email.
It probably could have been an email.
It all could have been an email.
Or a note card.
You can just write it on the chalkboards. Come on.
We don't have those anymore.
Oh,
Smart
well
screens.
Then. Goodness gracious.
Broadcasted on every smart screen at once.
There are better ways. Meetings are unnecessary. So how are you, Polly?
The trees are turning yellow, and we've lost over 2 hours of sunlight since the solstice, which means the weather may soon be turning colder, and that makes a happy Polly.
Oh, yes.
I didn't agree with you until perimenopause.
I went to take my sunshade off the windshield today and nearly burned my fingers. It was a hilarious hot potato moment of just bouncing the shield into the back seat instead of folding it up. It was like, oh,
I just pictured that in my head. I saw that as a movie.
You just grab the string and just fling it.
Oh.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the history and culture of this story?
Oh, this story is one of 12 Breton lays attributed to Marie de France in the 12th and 13th centuries. There are nearly another dozen which may or may not have been written by her, but scholars are in dispute of this claim. Some say she wrote them, and some say it was somebody else entirely.
They only dispute it because she's a woman.
Yeah, but they don't dispute that a woman wrote the loyal husband, cheating wife trope. Anyway.
Of course not. Cheating husbands are like people in prison. No one's guilty.
Well, you know, cheating husband is just business as usual, right? I mean, what's the big deal?
So right.
So a Breton lay is a form of romance literature from the medieval period, common in England and France. The name possibly derives from the Old High German or Old Middle German word like, which means play, melody, or song. So in short, a Breton lay is a medieval romantic verse from Western Europe. I think this is the first non-prose offering we've had. In France, a werewolf is called a loup-garou. The loup-garou in this tale is named Bisclavret. It is widely believed that the origin of the werewolf myth comes from a mass hallucination brought on by a particularly damp growing season in the region, which allowed for the growth of ergot on rye, barley, and other grains. Ergot poison can survive being processed, so infected cereals made into consumable products such as beer and bread would still contain the poison. Many historical outbreaks of werewolf and witch hysteria can be traced back to such weather conditions as would produce ergot, possibly even Beowulf, which some think may translate to barley wolf, as well as the Baba Yaga myths, which can be attributed to fearful men eating infected bread and seeing their doom around every branch and in every whisper of wind.
Well, most terrible things can be attributed to fearful men.
Okay, I admit that now I want to go and do some more research into this whole mass hallucination thing, because I wonder just how many oddities in the world can be traced back to poisoned beer.
And mushrooms. Probably mushrooms, too.
Mushrooms, yes.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's a fungus. So
There's a fungus among us.
So this verse tells the story of a devoted couple beset by mistrust and outward influence on one side and fierce love and loyalty on the other. As in these things, all comes out in the end. The liars are revealed and the loyalty is rewarded. No fathers and daughters in this one, just husbands and wives.
When you first said that, I was like, did we read the same story? Fierce love and loyalty. Where?
The husband is devoted to his wife, who is, well, let's not have spoilers just yet.
Well, until he bites her nose off.
Now there's a pretty crazy chain of events from devotion to devour.
Tasty.
Just remember, you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't eat your friend's nose.
Yeah, you can. Obviously, it's possible. Have you looked at the bite force it would take? It's nothing.
Really isn't. I mean, that's cartilage. Human teeth
Now,
can go through
now,
bone.
now I've got Buffy the Vampire scenes going through my head whenever Willow and what's his name, the werewolf.
I don't know the
That
werewolf's
was
name.
a
Never
little
did.
I
pathetic.
loved him.
Yes, he was great.
I have slept since then, and my brain is not braining.
I like the werewolf from True Blood.
I haven't seen it.
Maybe I just like the actor.
Yeah.
Better than Jacob, anyway.
It's not mixed metaphors. It's
It's a genre soup.
Now we see the truth in our love of werewolf tales.
So let's move on to the reading of the story, and then we can discuss it more after.
The Lay of Bisclavret, the werewolf. His wife questions his absences. Amongst them all there is one lay I'd not forget, that of Bisclavret. Bisclavret is the name in Breton, Garvoff, werewolf, in Norman. Many a year such tales men told, for it had often chanced of old that humans werewolves became, from the woods to kill and maim. They would roam, savage creatures, when lodged in wolf-like features, for men they eat, and ill they wreak, and then again the wild woods seek. But word of that I must delay, to tell you first of Bisclavret. There lived a lord in Brittany, I've heard him praised handsomely, a virtuous, a noble knight, who sought to act as was right. His liege lord he held him dear, as did his neighbours far and near. A worthy woman he had wed, fair of seeming and well bred. She loved him and he loved her, yet one thing ever troubled her, that he was lost to her each week for 3 whole days, nor would he speak of where he went. She knew not then what befell him, nor did his men. One day he returned this night to his house filled with delight. Thus she was minded to inquire, "My sweet friend, my fair sire, there is something I declare I've longed to ask, if I but dare. I fear you may be angry, though, and there is naught that I fear so." On hearing this, he embraced her, drew her to him, and kissed her. "Now, madam, ask away," said he. "I'll hide naught from my lady. If I can, I'll ever answer you." "Faith," she said, "I breathe anew. I live in fear every day. Whenever you are far away, my heart is filled with pain, too. I'm so afraid of losing you. If I fail to garner swift relief, then I must surely die of grief. So tell me, for I long to know, where you dwell, where you go. I think you must love elsewhere, and if you do, I'm in despair." He reveals that he is a werewolf. "Mercy, in God's name, my lady, if I said aught, ill would befall me, and I would drive your love away, and lose myself that very day." Now the lady felt, on hearing this, 'twas less than convincing, and off she would raise the matter. She would wheedle him and flatter, asking whither he did venture, till at last, for fear of censure, "A werewolf I become," he said. "In the forest I make my bed. Through its depths there I stray, and there it is I find my prey." When he told her all his tale, then she requested this detail, whether he his clothes eschewed. "Lady," he said, "I wander nude." "Where then do your clothes abide?" "I must not tell you," he replied, "for if of them I were relieved, and my altered state perceived, a werewolf I should be forever, and naught could help me ever, my former being to regain, and so you question me in vain." "Sire," she said, "I love you more than all the world. You, therefore, should not hide a thing from me, nor ever doubt my loyalty, for that is not the way of love. What is my sin, by heaven above, that you doubt me in anything? Do right, and tell me everything." So she tormented him withal. He could do naught but tell her all. "Lady, quite near the wood," said he, "beside the road where I journey, an ancient chapel doth it grace, that serves me as a hiding place. There lies a stone long and wide, beneath a bush hollow inside. Under there my clothes I hide, till I return, and there they bide." He is betrayed by his wife. The lady wondered at his tale, while her face grew wan and pale, filled with fear at his strange news. This one thought her mind pursues, how to make her escape that day, for with him she would not stay. A knight who dwelt in that country, one who had long loved this lady, begged and prayed her to be his, and done much in her service. Though she had never loved him, nor of such had e'er assured him, she summoned, her news conveyed, and her heart to him displayed. Be glad, she said, fair neighbor, for that of which you've labored. I grant you now without reserve you shall receive all you deserve. I grant my love, my body too. Make me your love as I do you. He gave her thanks gratefully, accepting her pledge entirely. She swore it on the sacrament. Then all the tale of where he went, her lord, what he did become, did yield. His journey to the woods revealed, and all the paths he took outlined, dispatching him the clothes to find. And thus was Bisclavret ill paid, and by his own wife now betrayed. Since he had vanished frequently, all her neighbors now agreed her lord must have left for good, though they searched as best they could, with nary a sign of him in the end. Their search they chose to suspend. The lady's marriage was approved to one who had so loyally loved. The werewolf is hunted. So things remained a whole year, till the king, while hunting deer, came to the forest's depths one day, where lay the werewolf Bisclavret. When the hounds were hallooed, he was the quarry they pursued. All that day they chased him hard, huntsmen and hounds, yard by yard, until they nigh on cornered him, and would have torn him limb from limb, if he'd not seen the king, whom he ran towards in hope of mercy. Then pawing at the stirrup there, licked his foot, while all did stare. The king, who was gripped by fear, summoned his companions near. "My lords, about me now," he cried. "Behold this creature at my side, and how with strange humility, in human wise, it begs for mercy. Drive the hounds away, and go, see that no man strikes a blow. This beast possesses mind and sense. Rein in the dogs, then let us hence, and leave the beast in peace, I say, for I shall hunt no more today." And while the king turns to go, Bisclavret doth seek to follow, staying close, cannot depart. From the king he will not part. The king leads on to his castle, delighted with him, truth to tell. Never has he seen such before, holds him a wonder evermore, and regards him as a treasure. Tells his people 'tis his pleasure that they show him every care. None must trouble him, or dare to strike the beast for any reason. Food and water it shall be given, and they most willingly agree. Now every day it lies silently among the knights, near the king. None there but think it a fine thing. The beast well behaved, so good, it does naught but what it should. Wherever the king might stray, it will follow come what may, attending on him constantly. That it loves him is plain to see. Bisclavret attacks his rival. Listen to what next occurred. All his barons received word they must attend the king at court, so all those who owed him aught might join a feast there on a day, and he be thus well served alway. There appeared among the rest, richly adorned, finely dressed, he who'd wed Bisclavret's wife, and who could never in his life have dreamed he might reappear. When at the feast he drew near, he was soon known to Bisclavret, who leapt and snapped at his prey, snatched him and dragged him out, and would have slain him, no doubt, had the king not called him back, and seized a stick, foiled his attack. He tried to bite him twice more, amazing all, since ne'er before had he acted in that same way to any man as he did that day, and all men said, and held it true, he must have reason so to do. He'd been ill-treated somehow, to seek revenge as he did now. But for now his enmity ceased, for the king curtailed the feast, and the barons took their leave, and off to their homes did weave. Away rode each and every knight, the victim first to take his flight, whom Bisclavret attacked. No wonder he'd sought to tear the man asunder. His wife reveals all. Not long after this, as I have heard, for thus I recall it every word, to that forest there rode the king, wise and courteous in everything, where Bisclavret had been found, who now beside his steed did bound. That night when he sought his rest, a country house suited him best. One known to Bisclavret's lady, who dressed in all her finery, hastened away to see the king, with her many a rich gift bearing. When Bisclavret saw her coming, his rage there was no restraining. Towards her he leapt in anger, listened to his vengeance on her. He bit the nose clean from her face. What could be a worse disgrace? He was threatened, men deployed, ready to see the beast destroyed. Wise advice was offered the king. "Sire," one cried, "this poor thing has e'er appeared tame near you, nor has he in our humble view, who have long observed his ways, and been about him all these days, touched a single human being, nor has attempted one ill thing, except against this lady now. By the loyalty we owe, we vow, he must hold a grudge against her, and to her new lord along with her. She is the wife of that knight who was dear to your sight, and was lost to us long ago. What became of him, none know. Put this lady to the question. See if she will yield the reason why the creature hates her so. Make her tell, if she doth know. For many a marvel there has been that we in Brittany have seen. The king agreed with this counsel. The night was held, she as well was taken to the lord's suggestion. Then they put her to the question. From distress and fear she told them all the story did unfold, of how she had her lord betrayed, of his clothes, of how he strayed through the woods, of all he'd said, of where he went and how he fed, of how, since his clothes had gone, he'd not been seen by anyone. But she believed that here today this creature must be Bisclavret. The king demanded that she show the clothes whether she would or no. She had them brought forth, and they were set down before Bisclavret, yet the creature took no notice, though they were offered as his. He who'd given advice before spoke now to the king once more. Sire, this thing will never do. He'll not dress in front of you, nor in changing from a creature display to all his true nature. No, not for aught will he do so. It is a shame to him, you know. Have him led to your chamber, and his clothes to him proffer. Then leave him be, such is my plan. We'll see if he becomes a man. He is restored to human form. So the king led the beast away, and closed the doors on Bisclavret. A long while did the king abide, then with 2 lords at his side entered the chamber, and all 3 there on the royal bed did see the knight restored in every limb. The king, hastening to embrace him, kissed him 100 times and more, and then his lands he did restore, both granting him his old estate, and more than I can here relate. The woman they exiled swiftly, driving her from all that country, and she went forth beside the man with whom she'd made her evil plan. She'd many children, I'm advised, and they could all be recognized in their seeming and their feature. Many a girl thus marred by nature lacked a nose in that family, and lived noseless in verity. For this whole tale you've heard is truth itself, accept my word, and in the memory of Bisclavret, the Bretons, they made this lay. The end of the Lay of Bisclavret.
And we are back. So what is your favorite part or version of this story?
It reminds me a bit of a Selkie story. The transformed partner is convinced to tell where they hide their clothes, the key to their transformation, and then they are betrayed by the one they love most.
I had the same thought.
I found myself thinking when her proof of his misdeeds was his clothes left behind. I mean, what if the poor guy was just a happy streaker?
You know what song's in my head now.
Whee! Look at that, look at that.
So my favorite part is when everybody believes in the wolf instead of just thinking it went crazy. Because
Right.
they're like, well, he only attacked that one guy and then he attacked her wife. What did they do to this wolf? And I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Well, they all love that wolf.
Of course.
They knew he was a good boy.
He was a very fluffy wolf.
So what is your least favorite part or version?
All in all, I thought it was a fair and balanced story. It could easily be turned around the other way, and it would be the same story, with the wife as the werewolf and the cheating husband. But no, my least favorite part was where her future daughters and descendants lacked noses because he bit hers off. Like, that's not an inheritable trait, people. It's not genetic.
Maybe for that day and age, it was a good explanation for some of the birth defects that they saw. Like,
Yeah, a wolf bit my grandmother is a lot better explanation than my dad married his sister.
For me, my least favorite part, I have to be honest, was that I struggled a bit with the format. I had to keep looping back to double check details because I would
Mhm.
lose it in the rhyme. But then again, I find it easier to follow the whole story when listening to Polly read it rather than just reading through it myself. Unless,
Yeah.
of course, I started reading it out loud, you
Mm.
know. So I just think it's something with me and poetry that it needs to be verbalized rather than just read.
Well, that's the purpose of poetry anyway, is to be performed. So your
Yeah.
brain just does it right. So, what are the original lessons you think this story was trying to convey?
This is a tale of a husband, loyal to his wife and his king, betrayed by his wife, but rewarded by his king. So, don't trust women, stay loyal to the crown. Now, it's kind of a lesson that's prominent in today.
Yeah. Women bad.
Climate. Women bad. Leader good.
But there's also the thread that I enjoyed of the king and his court trusting that wolf who had never been aggressive to anybody but this couple, like at all.
Yeah, King Bale, I decree that we shall all pet that dog.
One of the original, if not friend, why friend-shaped stories.
I was kind of thinking that the original lesson was to beware of leaving evidence lying around. Even someone you love and trust can turn against you if you make them feel like they've been made a fool.
But was it really evidence? I mean, maybe just don't trust anybody.
Nah, I fact-checked myself.
Who
Trust anybody.
doesn't? Oh, wait.
Plenty of people.
We're just weird. I get it. So what do you think the modern lesson would be?
Don't tell anybody where you hid your pants.
Or just do a better job of hiding your pants when you decide to go frolicking in the wood. Because if you're a man, you'll be declared a wolf. And if you're a woman, you'll be labeled a witch. And we've seen what follows that.
A lesson for hags and selkies everywhere. So in closing, what do you think happened after the story?
I would like to think that the king rewarded Bisclavret by granting him permission to remarry a woman of his choice. Maybe that nice Selkie chick from Orkney.
Oh, maybe he gave him a safe place to keep his clothes.
Yeah, like with a key.
Well, where would he put the key? You could give the key to the king because the king liked him.
All right,
the king has the key.
You can trust the king. You can always trust the king, obviously.
I think he married the king.
Oh, I see where we're going now. Yeah.
I was kind of thinking that maybe he was given a private wood where he could frolic to his heart's
The
content.
king gave him a private wood.
The king did.
Okay.
You fed right into my joke.
I was thinking more like wood as in forest.
I know what you were thinking, but
No, obviously that's what we were talking about. Forest
Oh.
with trees.
Once again, I hope my middle schoolers never find this podcast.
Oh no, darling, I go nude.
and then the king went to find him.
Oh.
Hello.
I was just thinking of him having a nice private estate where he could just frolic to his heart's content and nobody would be bothering him.
They did call him the king's beloved knight. That was in the story. I'm just saying. I am not completely off base.
The king loved him dearly.
And yes, they probably frolicked in that wood.
Oh dear God, I have to hide this from my kids.
Oh, it's in the fade out. They'll never hear it.
Right? Who listens this long? Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Check us out on Patreon, and you can help us meet our small goal of breaking even and covering our expenses. Your support helps pay for all of the things that podcasting requires, and helps keep this show alive and growing. If you can't afford to support us financially, go give us a good review, subscribe or follow, and share with your friends and family. Feel free to fact check us and offer suggestions to make our show better for you. You can also send us an email at lostinrevisionpodcast@gmail.com.
There's a lot more waiting for us all at the end of the road.